So craps is like a casino game and you throw 2 dice. So before you start the game, you have to decide what number you're going to play. Okay, so let's say if you throw an 8, that means you need to throw another 8 to win the game. But in the beginning, before the game start, we have to decide what numbers, like if you get a 7, I don't know if you guys heard of it. If you get a 7, you win before the game start. Okay, if you get a 7, you win. You get a 7 or 11, you win in the beginning. And then when the game start, let's say if you throw a 5, the game start, you can throw a 5. But then if when the game start, you throw a 7, you lose. Okay, everybody lose. But before the game start, if you throw a 2 or 3 or 12, you lose. Okay, but when the game start, it doesn't matter if you throw 2, 3 or 12 or 11, it doesn't matter. When the game starts, you can throw a 7. So this one is just to simulate this, like how we throw dice. Okay, so when we try to simulate the situation like this, you know, there are different ways of simulation or random number. And let's do this first. So this is the first toss. I need to do 2, 1, 2. See if it would. Okay, yeah. So let's say 40. It doesn't, usually it doesn't take that long. Okay, but but let's say we are going to throw 40 times, but we might not. Okay, and from B5, that's 1, we will have 1 to 6, right? So there are 2 major formula we are going to use in simulation. This one is called rand between. So it will be a random number. Okay, wait. It will be a random number between certain number. Okay, the bottom or top. Let me zoom in. I can zoom in. Okay, so can you see? Wait. Can you see this? Okay, wait. Make it bigger. So can you see this now? Okay. So so we have 2 formula we can use to get a random number. So this one is a little bit easier. This is to get integer, rand between 1 and 6. So they will pick random number between 1 and 6. Okay. But if you are going to do draw, let's say if you have 10 people going to draw, then you can do rand between 1 to 10. Okay. So this is the So this is the one of the formula we use. In the future, if you want to draw something, you can also do that. So it's random number rand between. Okay. The other one is just random number. and then this. So when we have this, how do you call this? Apprentices. So when we have apprentices, it's a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. Oh wait, I got the D. Okay, see that? So when we do this, it would just randomly run numbers between 0 and 1. I think we can press F9. So when we press F9, it will just keep giving us new random number. Okay. So I just want to show you the formula for like there are two functions we can use to get simulation. So this one is between 0 and 1. Okay, so 0 to 100%. So we can use this when we know the possibility of something happened. Okay, and then we can just assign some random number. So let's say, let me show you. So let's say this is 0.907, right? So we can assign, certain number, let's say 0.0 to 0.2, that's 20%, will be this A, and then 0.2 to 0.7, 50% will be B, and then 0.7 to 0.9 be C, 0.9 to 1 will be D. Okay, so if that's the case, this is 0.907, it will be D. But we kind of, we can see like A has 20% of chance A happened, B is 50% chance, and then D is 20%, and then D is 10%. When we add it up, it's 100%. So when we have the probability, we can also use this to assign the simulation, okay? But in this case, we don't need to. In this case, we can just use 1 to 6. So this is what we can do. So we can just do 5, B5. Wait, move this. So this is range between, right? And we can put in, we can just copy. Yeah, so it's the same. See, B5 and C5, we want to show the this formula, range between 1 and 6. So it's like we are throwing the dice. Okay? Any questions? Everybody follow? Okay. Good? Okay, so the next one is the sum, the total. So the total should be, pretty straightforward. Just this plus this, 2 dice. Okay. You can also put in sum and then select B5 and C5. So that's that. And then this is a difficult one. So whether or not we win the toss. So do you guys remember what I said about the rule? So the first toss before the game starts, this is when the game is off. So they have this thing off and on. So when the game is off, what number do we get to win? 7 and 11. Okay. So win on this toss, then we can put in the formula. This is kind of complicated. Let me write it down. Well, I don't know if I have. Well, let me just type it here. So, and then I'll show you. So it'll be if something. So if you see here, when we say if, okay, and then we do this, it will show us if the logical test, if this condition happened, then, okay, next is the value when it's true. Otherwise, the third information will be, otherwise there would be the case. Okay, so we have information 1, 2, 3. 1 is the condition. What happened if this is something is this? Okay, so we want to know, we want to do if D5 equal to 7 or 11, then we won, right? So the first information is D5 equal to 7 or 11. But we can't do if D5 equal to 7 or 11. We have to do some a little bit different. We have to do if, and then we put or first. Okay, if D5 equal to 7, okay, there are different logical, okay? So D5 equal to 7 or, and then put a comma, or D5 equal to 11. Oops. Okay, if this or this happened, okay, or means one, just one happened. If this or this happened, then now we go back to the if. Then what? Then we win, right? So what can we do is, because here we say win on this toast, we can put yes or no. Hello? Or we can say 0 is lose, 1 is yes. Okay, so either way. So let's do 1 and 0. So if D5 equal to 7 or D5 equal to 11, then we put 1. Okay, then 1. Otherwise, that's 0. Okay, so remember we have 2 apprentices, so we have to close it. I think we have, yeah, we have to close 2. Is it okay? No, wait, I made a mistake. So I should put a parenthesis here. And then this, sorry. So if D5 equal to 7 or D5 equal to 11, close. Then we put a 1. It means 1 means win. 0 means not winning. Yep. Let me. I think so. Let's see if I take out the comma, if it will work. Because we should put a comma before, like for if, we should put a comma in between. So if I don't put a comma, let's see if it will work. Yeah, it didn't work. So we have to put a comma. Yeah. So like here, we throw 1 and 5, we got a 6, so we didn't win. Okay. But did we lose? We didn't lose because this is the when the game starts. Okay, the normal number. But how do we know if we are losing? If we get a 2, 3, or 12, the first throw, first toss. If we get a 2, 3, or 12, that's lose. So the next one will be equal if this happened. So if D5 equal to 2 or D5 equal to 3 or D5 equal to 12. And then close. If this happened, then yes, we lose. So we put 1. Otherwise, 0. So in theory, it should show 0, 0. So we don't win and we don't lose, and the game actually starts. So the next column is we continue. Okay, continue, yes or no. But whenever we press enter, the number will change. Okay, so let's see. Oh, 11, so we win. See, we got 11, that means 7 or 11 will win. But you can also press F9. Okay, so this one, we got a 3, we lose. Okay, this one is 6. So no lose, no winning. But do we need to wait? Do we need to continue? How do we continue? So this is a complicated one. Oh well, not really. So continue will be if E5 and F5 both equal to 0, right? No winning, no losing, then we continue, right? So we can do if instead of or, this time we need to use and because we want both to be equal to 0. So we put and if E5 equal to 0 and F5 equal to 0. Then we can say 1 or 0, or another new stuff is we put this quote, is it called quote? Quote, then it will have, when we put in quote, it will give us text, a text that Excel will not count it as number, okay? So we can do this, yes. If that's the case, if both equal to 0, then yes, continue. If not, no. And it actually, the interesting thing is when you have the quote, it will show the difference in capital letter or small letter. Let me just show you. So if the no is small, I put no as small letter and then yes as capital letter. And then we will see, you guys will see the difference. Okay, so that's that. Did you guys follow? You see that? So if I do F9, till I get, wow. Okay, see, the no is small letter. I just want to show you when you have quote, it will actually treat that as a text. But I like capital letter. So we put this, okay? So this is the first line. So we will see if we continue. But the thing is that actually the beauty of this game is when the game starts, when we throw an 8, and then in between, whenever we throw a number, as long as we don't throw a 7, you know, the game continue, and then we keep getting paid. Like if you bid the number, okay? So did I tell you in like during the Memorial Weekend in the end of May, my brother visited me. We went to Pittsburgh and there's a casino there. It was really hot that day. And then a friend of ours, she wanted to go to the factory outlet. So we went, but it's outdoor, it's very hot. And then also my brother had very bad allergy. So he's like, what should do now? Because we have I have really bad allergy. And I thought he said he wanted to go to pharmacy to get the allergy medicine. He said, now the only treatment is go to casino because it's indoor and they have very good air filter and stuff. So we went and we started to play craps. And I threw so many different numbers. I got a 4, I got a 5, I got an 8, 6, and 9. And when I'm on the 10, you know, my daughter called me. So eventually I threw a 7, we lose. But because I already got all those numbers, there's something called fire bet. So it's 1 to 250 times when we won 5 numbers. If I won 6 numbers, it'll be 1 to 1,000 times. So I didn't get the 6th number, but I got the 250. So we won almost $2,000 for that. Yeah, for that game. But when you lose, it's fast too. But if you don't get a 7, when you start the game, it would be, you know, you can make a lot of money. Anyway, so so this is the let me see. This is the first toss, okay? And then when the game really starts, when we need to continue, we have to, let's see, we have to put in something else, okay? But let's just, just be lazy. So let's for dice 1 and dice 2, let's just copy the whole thing. We're not supposed to, we can put in a complicated formula to say, we don't want it to show. I'll show you later in the later column. But for this one, let's just do it till like the 40 toes. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so just copy the whole thing till here. Okay. And then we can just do I need to do this? D5, D6. Okay, so D5. So so for the sum, we still also copy it down. Okay, this is the dice we toss. So if you see here, if we continue, the second toss is 7, then we lose. Okay, but whether or not we did win this, we can say so we will have to put in if. So the second toss or on, we win when we throw the number from D5. We throw this number. Okay. So oops. We only win if let's see, G5. What is G5? Okay. G5 equal. E6. E5. G5 here. This is G5. Continue. Maybe we should start from here. D6. E7. Okay. So this one is if here. D6. If this equal this D5. Okay. Then we won. Otherwise, we don't win. But because imagine because D6, how should I put it? We need to drag it down. Okay, we need to drag the thing down so that because the second time we might not get 5 or 7. We might get any number and then we need to continue the game, but we don't win, we don't lose. So we need to put a $sign in front of D5. Okay. So this is when we win the game. Let's see. So this is when we win the game, but but we actually and we want to put in another thing that's when, how should I put it? When we actually throw 7, like when we only can throw the first round and then the game wins or lose. Okay, so if that's the case, we don't have to show anything from second line and down. So we need to add something else. but this is to show you like if we win, this is what we get. Okay, so we actually have to add something. So when something happened, okay, when this happened, when this D6 equal to D5, then we win, okay? Or when G5, okay, when G5, this, oops. And let me put this here. When G5 equal, don't copy it yet because it will be a little bit more complicated. So when G5 equal to no, okay, or when G5 is equal to this, means empty. When it's empty, then we will have nothing here. Okay, then this means nothing. Close this. So when G5 equal to no, or when there's nothing in G5, because we're going to drag it down. So if somewhere there in G, we show no continue, and then in the bottom, there won't be anything showing. So if that's the case, then we don't have to do win or lose. Okay, so when G5, when that shows nothing, for the first line, it wouldn't show nothing, but for the second one, for G6, it might start to show nothing. Okay, because if we say no continue, then it will be blank in G6 or up. So we'll put it in there first. Okay, if that happened and then we put nothing here, so we don't put in 0 or 1. But if so this is what happened. So but then if we got D6 equal to D5, then we get 1 or 0. Okay? If otherwise, if this, we get 0 or 1. Did I close it? Wait, there's something. Now we need one more here. Let me click, see if it works. Okay, so see here, do you see that? So the first toast, we actually win the game. So we say no continue. But even though in E6, there's something in there, actually we just put in formula there. It shows blank because we say no continue. Okay? Let me show you here. This one. See, there's something in there. Can you guys see it? Can you see the top formula? Yeah? Okay. Did you put in the quote? The empty quote?
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, wait. Oh, continue. Okay, and then yes. Oh, yeah, because it's yes, and then yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Too complicated. Sometimes can you see that? It's too small. Let me see if I can move this. Oh, here. Here, you can see this better. So you need to have very good sense of logic to, but it's not, once you are familiar with this, it's not bad. So the second one is very similar. Okay, the second one also we kind of want it to look a little bit fancy. So the second one actually very similar, except for the last part. If D6 equal to 7, then yes, we lose, otherwise 0. Okay, no win, no lose. Does it make sense? So I would just, let me see what I would do. I would just copy. Copy, oops, and paste. Okay, but I'm going to change this, the D6 to 7. Let me double click here. Okay, can you see it? Let me move it here. Okay, so wait. It didn't change. Wait. I thought okay. So I only change this to 7. Okay, copy the whole thing and then paste, and then only change the D5 to 7. The most complicated part is next. Yeah, I copy over and I change the D5, the $ D5 to 7. Okay, let me do it again. E6. So what I did is I highlight this and then Control C. Okay, click Control C and then go to, and then you need to escape and then click on F6 and then click Control V. Okay, so basically copy the whole thing. You cannot drag it over because the G5 will be H5 and then D6 will be E6. So we don't want to drag it over. We can just copy the whole thing, but we can click here. We can click D5, the $ here. I mean, select and then just change it to 7. Okay, does it make sense now? Okay. So is everybody with me? Yeah? Okay. So the next one is a little bit, because we wanted to look a little bit fancy. So this time, we would do this. If G5, so if G5 already show no, okay, or G5 is blank, okay, so we need to do, oops, if G5 equal no. And remember, if you use small letter, you have to use the small letter. Otherwise, the Excel wouldn't recognize it, because when you have core, it have to be the same. Okay, I can let me show you. I can do small letter no, and you will see what I mean. If it shows no, or if it shows nothing, okay, then wait. Yeah, then it means we don't continue. So then just blank, because if the previous cell is already blank or no, the following one will be blank. Okay. Otherwise, if both E6 and F6 equal to 0. If E6 equal to 0, and then F6, let me type it in. F6 equal to 0, okay? If this happened, oh wait, wrong apprentices. Sorry. If this happened, then we will continue the game. Okay? If not, if not both showing 0, that means one has to be 1. Then we don't continue. Okay? Then we say no continue. Let me put a capital letter, and then you will see what happened next. Okay? Do I close it? Let me do this first. Okay. Sorry. Let me move it here so you will see the whole thing. Okay, here. Oh. So if both E6 and F6 equal to 0, nobody win, nobody lose, then we continue the game. Otherwise, no. Then we can drag everything down from there. Ready? Now wait. Done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's drag everything down. So select, you can select 3, or you can do one by one, just, in case. I like to do this. Select a whole all 3 and drag it down. So you will see, even though they have formula, but when it says no continue, they won't have anything showing. Okay. Oops. So you see, it's actually there's something you can do. F. What? Okay. Huh? Oh, it's 12. Oh, like this. So you can press F9, and then I think there was a student that have 30 some games, like keep playing. Okay, let's just see. So you are supposed to You, so this should be. So what is this? Oh, okay, that was.
I think I missed something. I was zeros there. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
gone, it's moved.
So did you didn't change it now, right? So you select the three.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How should go back?
Yeah, so-
Direct those.
So that's it. Any other questions? I like this. This is fun. So, but it's actually we don't need to have this because when you see 7, when you see 11, 12, 2, you know it's if it's winning. But I just want to show you some of the formula. If this happened, to practice a little bit. So that's that. Any questions? Let me see. I'm supposed to put another Excel in simulation. I don't know how come I forgot. Yeah, so this is the simulation. So let's see. What is this? Oh, this one. Okay. So we will cover another simulation, the random number, like I told you next time. Do you want me to add? I just no. No. No, I said, do you? I was supposed to cover it next week, but I can talk a little bit about this today. Okay. So let's see. This is too big. I need to download this. So let's just download the bookstore 2. Bookstore 2. Just the very basic concept, okay? So bookstore 2 is like what I told you guys, like this is similar to a t-shirt example we had, but instead of buying t-shirt, now this is the calendar. Okay, so the calendar for this is if we decided to print certain amount of calendar, our cost is $7.50. Okay, and then we are able to sell it for $10 if we can sell it before the new year. But if after New Year, we have to sell it at discounted price, which is $2.50. So based on the demand, the previous example is already, there's 30% chance the demand is 100 unit, 20% chance demand is 150, and 30% chance demand is 200, 15% chance demand is 250, 5% chance demand is 300. Okay, so how that if we say, well, if we just calculate the average, which is 200, okay, so how much we are going to make and how are we going to make the decision? So this is to use the random table, this formula that I told you, to use this to kind of simulate. So what would happen, what would the demand be and how would it look like? So the demand will be, if we just use, like I say, we use random number, Okay, it will show us different numbers. I just press F9. You see, it will be, you know, just like random number. It's like lottery ticket. Okay, so you see every number is different. Okay, so all the numbers are different. But how do we coordinate this into here? Okay, so we will use, this is a cumulative probability. So what we can do is we can just put in this number. This will be equal to this. Okay, so it will be 0.3. And then the next number will be equal to the cumulative number plus this number. Okay, so from here, we can just drag it down. So in the end, it should be equal to 1%. Can you, yeah?
Can you go over that one more time?
Okay, let me make it bigger. Sorry, I forgot to make it bigger. So like I mentioned, because there's 30% chance, so the first cell is just equal to this one, okay, F5. And then the second cell will be equal to D5 plus F6, okay? And then D7 will be equal to D6 plus F7. So from there, we can drag it down. Okay, from D6, we can just drag it down. Okay, so but the last one, so we can always click here. So it should be this plus this. So the last one should be equal to 1 because the probability should be equal to 100%. So what we can do here, so how do we make this number? How do we coordinate this number into that probability? Okay, I'll talk about it again next time, but I'll just introduce you one function called VLOOKUP. So you see here, VLOOKUP is vertical lookup. So it looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table and then return the value in the same row from the column you specify. Okay, so that means we can ask Excel to look up this column, this probability table, okay, and then tell them to go to the column, the value you want, which is this one, with the demand, right? 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. Okay? But the table must be sorted in the ascending order. So like that. Okay, like what we did. Okay? So that's it. So we just need to select this table. But remember, we are going to, okay. So see here, we are going to do 1,000 examples. Okay? So we want to have a range name for the VLOOKUP table. So let's just, we can do this or we can do this. This one is basically, I wouldn't say useless, but it's kind of useless in the VLOOKUP function because this is all we need. But it's just to be, you know, we can put in demand, just put in demand distribution. Okay, demand distribution. Okay, select the table. And then when I do this, I can do VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. We don't have to do this now. So lookup value is, here. Wait. Lookup value should be. Oh, wait, sorry. The lookup value is the random number. That's the number we want to look up at the table. I forgot. So the lookup value is ran a random value. Okay, and then the table will be, we want to look up remember the leftmost one, that's the value that we look up. Okay, so this is that, and we want the index number to be equal to this, the demand. Okay, so it'll be column 2 from the table. So it should be 2. Let's see if it worked. Ah, something is wrong. Table array. Two, it's just 2. Oh, well, I don't know what happened. So, yeah. Oops, let me double click. So this one will come back next time. Okay, but the VLOOKUP is to look up so this is good. When we do VLOOKUP, we can look up like the employee's name. We can say VLOOKUP and then put in employee's name. And then this employee, try to calculate their working hours. We can add it up and stuff. So they will go through the column on the very left and then look up the same thing or look up whatever match to their value. So in our case, it's a random number, okay? And it would, actually, let me, sorry, let me do this. Let me do just to demonstrate. Let me do the random number here, okay? And then I just show you. So it will have a better, so this is the random number. And then we can do VLOOKUP. So look for a value in the leftmost column and then return the value in the same row from the column, okay? So we want to look up, the lookup value is this one. So now I put it in there in a different cell, but before I put the B19, I directly put the random number formula in the B19 area, okay? But now it will give you better visual demonstration. So the table will be still this table, okay? The demand distribution. And then we want the second column to be shown here. So that would be the demand. It shouldn't have dollar sign. But because I put this under revenue. Okay, so you see when this random number is 0.38, it's something is not, wait, let me think. Something is not right. Yeah. So this one, I think, yeah, it should be 9. Ah, I know what happened. Sorry. So we will come back next time. But this is the formula for demand. Okay, I made a mistake here. So this one should be equal to 0. And then this should be equal to this plus this. Yeah, it should be like that. Yeah. So, yeah, so if that's the case, it will be correct. Yeah. So, yeah. So we will come back next time, okay? But just to show you the concept for VLOOKUP and then how we so like now it's correct. So this should be 0. here. I'll show you next time. Okay, so whatever between 0 and 0.3, it will go to 1. And then the next one is 0.3 to 0.5 be 150. You can see from here. So I forgot about this. Any questions? Okay, so if no questions, you guys can submit the crabs, and then we are going to work on this next time. Okay. So if there's anything, any announcement? Okay, no announcement.